Yes people, what is good? I am BA back once again with another reaction in the Deadwood series. Last episode, we mainly focused on the storyline of those two heroin addicts stealing the dope from Mr. Wu, showing the strange politics that goes on in the town with Al wanting to help Wu but also not wanting to be seen as directly aligned with him, and also showing yet again that Sai is not prepared to budge an inch to help Al with anything. The other main thing I took away from the last episode was, obviously the preacher's condition is worsening. It appears as if it is a brain tumour. He's now forgetting things like who his friends are or being told to leave the Gem Saloon. He went back in a second time because the piano soothed his headaches. A really sad storyline. I hope he has a happy ending, but it does not seem likely. At the end of the episode we saw him remember that Seth and Saul were his friends and he went for an evening stroll with them. But yeah, they were the main two plot points from last week's episode, so let's get into this week's. This is episode 11 of season 1 and it is called Jules' Boots Are Made for Walking. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. BA's log. Week 2. No Calamity Jane. The fear is starting to set in as I wonder where she is in this old western wilderness. Will she ever return to Deadwood? I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows but Jane. And how will we ever know what she's thinking? Cause she's not fucking here! Where's Calamity Jane? Bring back my Calamity Jane now! Unless she dies, she's not allowed to leave the screen. Alright, Deadwood? Okay?
Gonna take me off for $35 just because he thinks he can.
Oh, it was an extra 35. That doesn't sound like too much, but it's still something.
Haven't already taken $5,000 to have the warrant lifted.
Really? An extra 35 on top of 5,000? That is fucking ridiculous.
Bullock's rode out with that Hustetler from the livery. Farnham slithered his way across here.
That is a great way to describe how Farnham moves.
Take half a day off if you feel like. Go see that child. We'll venture out.
That's nice of Al. Trixie loves that kid. I'm sure she would love to go catch up with her. What a fucking cunt. Fuck off, mate. If I was in the Deadwood streets and saw that guy doing that, I would shoot him straight in his face. Well, so no one's gonna help her? Where's all the gentlemen this morning?
It's a book! Oh no, I don't read goddamn books on the Civil War. Look!
She's obviously showing you something related to medicine. Fucking read it.
You're referring to the brace on his leg.
Yes.
That would be cool. Brace her up.
That boy in the drawing was goddamn able-bodied before he got his leg shot up, not born with difficulties.
It's still worth a try.
I'm sorry. What do you apologize for?
The doc's such a G.
Let me hold on to this for a while.
Thank you.
Maybe he will find something in it he could use. He seems like he's familiar with what she's talking about, so he's probably seen all these things before, but still, it might inspire him to try something.
We must confirm the contents of this precious cargo.
What is this?
What you see here is an American optical back-focus single swing.
Oh, is it a camera?
What William Henry Fox Talbot could have achieved in service of this fine apparatus.
Is that one of them ones that there's a slight explosion when you take a picture and you have to stand there for like 10 hours?
Bit my damn tongue.
Is it bleeding?
I don't want to look. Might upset the child.
No, you don't want to look because you're squeamish, Charlie.
I ain't making too many friends in this camp in my capacity as fire marshal.
I don't know if it's the most social position, Fire Marshal, but your natural charm will shine through, Charlie. All you need to do is put yourself out there.
I trust you, Ellsworth, as an honorable man. I take great pleasure in your company.
Wow, you have completely misjudged this dude, keeping the murder of your husband to himself.
And I'll just say once, I know I'm too damn old for you.
Yes, you are. Who is this?
I take a father's liberty.
Oh, her dad. I wonder if this is the guy we heard about early on in the season who's friends with the Pinkerton Company.
With your permission, ma'am, I will take my leave.
Of course.
And my plate.
Yeah, don't forget all the essentials.
Mr. Crane, return to the setting of your recovery.
Huh, so they still have the quarantine tent set up for people with smallpox. I thought we were done with that.
The tent, as you see, is in the the process of being dismantled.
Ah, okay, so we are done with this.
Dr. Cochran, I believe, is expected shortly. I believe.
This actor playing the Reverend is so good in his role. I've never seen this guy in anything else to my knowledge, and he's such a good actor.
How are you, Mr. Crane?
I backslid in the other camps.
He's looking at him like he wants to help him or something. I don't think there's anything anyone can do if the doc can't help him.
Could you help me to pray?
Huh. So he's wanting to become more religious then. That's interesting.
To love than to be loved.
Don't tell me he's forgotten the prayer. That'll break his heart. Ah, shit, it's not looking good for the Reverend right now.
Get a haircut, Adams. Looks like your mama fucked a monkey.
His mother fucking monkeys has nothing to do with his haircut.
Al is merely probing Adam's willingness to betray the magistrate.
Is that why he was being so nice to that guy last episode? Trying to make him double-cross the guy who's ripping Al off? That would be interesting. Although I don't see why this guy would give loyalty to the people of Deadwood over the bigwigs he currently works for.
I trust you found your accommodations satisfactory, Mr. Adams. Silas? If not, they could always be changed.
Look at Farnham, just trying to weasel in there, just push above his boundaries slightly. He's going to end up challenging Al, and Al will have none of it.
I'm knocked up.
Wonder why she told him that lie, instead of just saying, look, you bully me every day for my leg, I'm trying to fix my leg because you bully me.
He won't come back here without a resolution. He'll know what's waiting for him. Maybe he needs to die there. Maybe he should.
Do you think that guy would actually organise killing the magistrate when he leaves? That would be crazy.
1,000 and 1,000. Think I am a fucking monkey. You thought there would be 20 in?
So he's lowballing him but trying to make him think in a big picture. It might work.
2,000.
And it did work. Now, this guy could do one of two things. He could do exactly what Al wants, go and kill the magistrate, take his position, etc., earn in the future, or he could go straight back to the magistrate and say, you never guess what Al Swearingen just told me to do. Be interesting to see what happens with that.
Always a little sketchy about me. I hope I'm here to help.
He seems cool so far, her father. I wonder what his intentions are to come to Deadwood. Is it just a visit, or does he have other plans?
What's that behind your ear? Don't you ever clean behind your ear?
Where did that coin come from? How did he do that?
Do you have any of the gold?
I've seen no solid nuggets so far. It's a lot of mineral with a little bit of gold laced through it.
There's some talk that you did Brom in.
From his parents?
Wow, that's so fucked up.
I doubt he tells the true story of how Brom died, but he would verify that I wasn't there.
Ah, that's messed up. If only they knew the truth. Not even she knows the real truth. I think she's got her suspicions.
Bill Hickok.
If I recall your reading habits, that's been an acquaintance of yours since childhood.
Were they acquaintances since childhood? No way. Did I miss that line of dialogue, or is that just him joking around? Yeah, don't steal our gold on the first visit. Wait until number 2 or 3. Do a coin magic trick with it. Disappear it up your wrist. Be classy.
Everyone has the elbow. Hazard to one, it's hazard to all.
He is literally fire marshalling the shit out of this residence. I respect him taking his new role so seriously.
Cure your stovepipe violation or prepare to get levied a fine.
I wonder if Charlie is being slightly harsh on this guy because this is the establishment that Bill was murdered in.
Why is there no sheriff in this camp?
What?
All these official positions. Why is there no sheriff?
Oh, they don't like having a sheriff in Deadwood. Al's the sheriff. He doesn't need the hat or the badge.
Whose ear'd be first to the ground when any violence created maybe business opportunities.
Is this guy trying to lobby himself as the future sheriff? I do not think he would be a good one.
Swearingen hates my fucking guts. So knowing how grateful I'd be and alls I'd show it to you.
This guy is trying to cement his own fate. Al will not have this prick as a sheriff. He'll have him murdered. This fucking idiot.
What you been up to, who the fuck with, that kind of thing.
You probably know everything about everything already.
Yeah, he wants to hear your version of events. It's a smart man who knows exactly what happened but still wants to hear your version of the story. See how on point you are from the truth.
Is he holding the strings on you?
Sir.
Are you here on his instruction?
Ah, he thinks this guy might now be in Al's back pocket because he let him live, I see.
But he just give me this, so I stayed in the tub until I got my bearings.
That's a hell of a way to treat a white man, ain't it, Leon?
Sai is just looking for information to use this Al is siding with a Chinese angle in his favour.
It's a hell of a way to treat a white man.
I see.
Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Sai's such a racist piece of shit. Of course, the majority of this town is prejudiced towards the Chinese in this era, but still, to hear him say this shit, he's just wanting to spin it so that everyone knows about it.
Welcome back, son.
I don't know what he stands to gain from that power play. Like, Al has his place, Sai has his place. Is he trying to fully destroy Al so he can essentially be the, sheriff of the town without title, like Al currently is? Is he trying to take that power away from Al as well, maybe? Because if it's a war Sai wants, Al will give him one. He's trying to be cordial to a point, but, if he takes it there, Al will be right there with him.
I hope one's not getting to recover the bribe he paid you when I don't give him the fucking job.
Who's your candidate, Al?
Nobody.
I knew Al wasn't going to go for this idea.
I got a fire commissioner who's about to condemn my building, and we're still on Indian land.
So he's just admitted that it's a completely selfish reason. He only wants this guy to be sheriff so that his building is not written off for fire danger.
Hung your sign up for nickel booze and 50-cent pussy.
Them was get acquainted prices.
50-cent pussy is a good deal. I'll take 10.
You already made a hell of a one on you.
That too is true enough.
Well, at least the guy's being honest about his intentions. It's more than 90% of Deadwood would give Al in a conversation.
He can be sheriff for all I care.
Thank you, Al.
Really? This town makes some terrible decisions between that douchebag being sheriff and E.B. Farnham being the mayor.
Let Farnham swear him the fuck in here then.
He's already starting to give Farnham the shit jobs. I like it. If you ask me, it's a mayor's duty to go outside and clean up all that horse shit.
I'm looking out for an axe and a saw. And if I got them, they wouldn't be applied to building nothing.
She keeps hinting about buying hardware for the purpose of using it to murder Al. I appreciate it, but she doesn't need to drive the point home by saying it twice.
My cherry is obstructing my work. Sir, would you take it from me? Free?
Now, this is going to make things incredibly awkward if Al ever finds out, because she's like his girl, really. She might be a hooker, but, she's his number one. It's just nice to see her have sex with someone who she's deciding to have sex with, for once, to be honest.
Seth, you remember Trixie? Oh, yes. Well, I just stopped for a moment.
Interesting way to be reacquainted with her.
Hold still. Take a breath. Don't move.
Don't tell me that's what he's wasting the first ever photograph in Deadwood on.
A second one might be appropriate without that putrid apron around your midsection.
The apron makes him look hard working. Leave the apron alone. If it's okay for a Freemason, it's okay for a bartender, right?
The camp's new sheriff.
Constable, sir. I'm not sure we've actually met.
You definitely need a better hat than that. You can't be walking about with that top hat looking like the Monopoly man claiming to be sheriff. Okay, we all like Pringles, but I would never let the Pringles man arrest me.
It's Al in his office.
Seems to be sequestered. He missed the swearing in, too.
Well, isn't that just a shame? A convenient shame.
A candid moment.
Trying to get a sneaky second photo in. He's loving this new camera. Is the sheriff even going to get a little office or a badge or a hat, or is he just going to forever walk around looking like Charlie when he first opened the freighting business with no badge, just telling people he's sheriff? Because that's pretty shit.
Who by letter and circumcision transgresses the law.
Is he preaching circumcision to oxen? It's an interesting crowd for a sermon.
I prefer to watch the fucking Reverend Smith preach to the oxen and the horses.
He was in fact preaching to the oxen. Well, oxes need God too.
Putting a badge on Stapleton makes him feel he's got friends in high places.
That job shouldn't go to a shitheel.
Agreed. I think Seth has a strong point here.
The 5,000 will need company if I'm to be off the hook.
I give you the law.
Seth probably knows more about the law than anybody else in Deadwood, so Al should actually heed his advice strongly in this situation.
I don't want it.
Hell, I do lots of things I don't want to do.
I see what Al's saying here, but Seth literally left a different town so he could come here and not be sheriff. Don't make him have to deal with the law anymore. He clearly wants nothing to do with it. Let him sell his shovels and live in peace.
It's back open.
She says with a slight wobble in her step.
Shall affliction or distress or persecution or hunger or nakedness.
Oh man, I mean at least he's doing what he loves, but fucking hell. I still feel so bad for this preacher. He's literally on death's door.
Nor death's nor any other creature. From the love of God.
Al actually looks emotional. I never thought I'd see that. He had a slight tear in his eye.
Maybe I'm not the only one who should be about looking for a place.
He's basically saying to Saul, you know, get some private quarters to do your tricksy fucking in, which is a fair thing to say.
I am Al McGarrett's father.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
So does that mean he was the guy who was murdered's dad, and he's just being respectful, continuing to call Mrs. Garrett his daughter? Or is he of blood to Mrs. Garrett? Because if it's that guy's dad, he did reference him early in the season and mention he was good friends with the Pinkerton agency, so I wonder if they're going to show up and this guy's doing like a preliminary investigation as to what exactly went down.
I regret the tone I had with you earlier. Okay.
The dog's such a nice guy. I love it. I didn't realise this was Brad Dorff either, the guy that voiced Chucky in Child's Play, etc. He is an incredible actor in this show.
This has been a great concern to me in your case. To interfere, even with the best of intentions.
I agree with what he's saying, but I do hope he's found something that he thinks will help her though.
I thought we might try something like this.
Oh, that's cool. That's so good to see. Now, if she gets this done and it works and Al still breaks her balls, I will hate him forever. I don't care about his teary-eyed balcony looking down on the preacher's shit. I will hate him.
We can't work all the time, can we? We all need some type of relaxation, companionship, or the like.
Is that Al's way of saying he knows exactly what she was up to? I don't know how he'd know that information, but, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't already know.
Moods that you generate those yourself, and then you find your excuse for having them.
Saucy words, Doc. Good thing you're handy with a snatch.
This is like the one guy in town you wouldn't have the balls to kill because he keeps all your whores in good condition.
Postprandial cigars for the men folk.
Oh, no, we have our own smokes.
I hope you brought ravenous appetites.
Thank you, Mr. Farnham.
Why is Farnham being so nice to these people now? Is it because he knows Mrs. Garrett's sitting on a gold mine, or is it because he knows that their father is good friends with a Pinkerton agency?
Not many here would give a damn what a New York court held or didn't. Excuse my language.
On the contrary, Mr. Bullock, thank you for acknowledging my presence.
Oh, she loves him so much. Get a room, you two. Telling Salt to get a room, you get a room.
If the daughter's been in it with him, or she's his pigeon.
Wow, what an absolute little nosy snake E.B. Farnham is. Every single episode of this show so far, he has shown himself to be a right little rat. I don't know how many times I've called him a rat and snake so far, but I will continue to do so. E.B. Farnham, you were a fucking rat.
It wasn't to do with you, it wasn't business.
Trixie!
Don't think I don't understand.
You can tell this actually hurts Al. He really likes Trixie.
I won't pay.
You pay. Or she pays.
That's so fucked up.
You sleep tonight amongst your own. Another fucking bottle.
Al's trying to be hard-headed in this situation, but you can tell deep down that is actually hurting him as a person. He considers Trixie his.
Understandable her late husband was so taken with my daughter.
Okay, so he's a blood relative to Mrs. Garrett, not the guy.
Thanks for dinner.
That will disappoint Alma. I'm sure she didn't think she was saying goodnight when we left for our walk.
Is that his way of saying, like, I'm cool with you being with my daughter? Or just that I know you and my daughter have feelings for one another? I'm unsure as to what his intentions with this conversation are.
Al Swearingen is supposed to be so fucking tough to turn one of us over?
Oh, he's doing his job. Cy will love him for this.
Leon! Get it out, Leon. Prune the pattern down.
Sai giving him public speaking advice there. Beautiful thing to see.
80 in chips for the Joni Stubbs Construction Fund.
Robbing his own establishment blind to help fund their brothel. What a gentleman, kinda.
Front in Cochran's alley.
Well, those all seem took by Chinese.
Well, you never know how that shit's gonna shake out.
Is that his plan? To try and get the town against the Chinese so that they have to vacate those properties and she can get her brothel there? That is some fucked up master planning by Sai.
Swearingen sent for me to pay him his fee. I guess she told him where she'd been.
She doesn't need to tell Al anything. If that's what you think went down, you highly underestimate Al's abilities.
The only time you're supposed to open your yap is so I can put my fucking prick in it. Otherwise, you shut the fuck up.
Well, as chivalrous as he's being, this is still just Al clearly on the rebound. I do feel bad for him. He can say all the cocksuckers shit, so open your legs, shut your mouths he wants. I know inside he's hurting, and that's enough for me.
I mean, you gotta behave like a grown fucking man.
It's very rare you see Al like this. He's usually impenetrable to the outside world. In this episode, we've seen him almost shed a tear over the preacher's condition, and now seem incredibly vulnerable because of what Trixie's done.
You got a stagecoach to catch or something, huh? Slow the fuck up.
Some people like it fast straight away. Don't judge her techniques. She makes enough money for you doing it.
Scurried off down fucking Euclid Avenue. Probably 30 fucking years before you were fucking born.
I feel bad for any woman that has ever had to fillet a man while he is in such a ridiculous rant.
Now, fucking go faster.
Rant over, speed up, beautiful.
Spit it out.
Don't even know if Al enjoyed that blowjob. It seemed like a traumatic experience for both parties. Okay, and that was episode 11 of season 1 of Deadwood. Jules' boot is made for walking, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Jules' boot is made for walking. What did I think of that? I'm not sure, but is the woman with the leg issue Jewel? Because that would make the title make sense. Otherwise, I'm unsure as to what that means. But if it does mean that, it makes sense, and it was great to see that. The lady in Al's establishment, I'm still not sure if it's Jewel or not, but she went to the docks and brought him that book. She's clearly interested in trying to do something about her leg. The doc at first was quite harsh about it, but then went to visit her later and apologised. He's such a nice guy, obviously, and found something else in the book he thought might work. So I'm hoping they go through with this, and maybe this lady might be able to walk properly before the end of this show. That would be great to see, even if it doesn't happen. She's such a lovable character, but if the doc can actually do something to help her, that would be amazing. Mrs. Garrett's father showed up and told her the news that some people back home believe that she had her husband killed, which we know is not true, of course, but then he seemed to spend the rest of the episode doing a bit of light investigative work, I'll call it. He wasn't out and out with his intentions, but he definitely wanted to know the people involved with what exactly she was doing in the town. And it'll be interesting to see where that storyline goes from here, because I'm still unsure 100% of his intentions. I did say a few times in the episode, I don't know if this is the same guy the dude who was thrown into the ravine was mentioning, but I do know that he said his father was good friends with the Pinkerton agency. Is this the guy? Because if so, he might be doing some feeling out processy stuff before the Pinkertons show up, which would no doubt make all hell break loose, especially when it comes to the people responsible for killing that guy, which is basically Dan and Al. And Trixie and Seth got together, which was great to see. Our happiness didn't last for long, of course, because then Al found out, made Seth pay for it, which was ridiculous, because obviously Trixie was doing that out of her own choice for once. And we got to see a very vulnerable side to Al this episode, with him almost shedding a tear looking down and seeing the deterioration of the preacher's mind as he preached to the oxys in the street. And then also you could tell he was really hurt by the fact that Trixie had went and slept with someone of her own volition, which was not him. Yes, she was a prostitute for him, but he always treated her like the top girl. She got to sleep in his bed, and she was basically the one that tended to his sexual needs, so so he felt he had some sort of ownership over her, and he was definitely heartbroken to find out that was not true. Even to the point of, as we saw in the last scene, he's now trying to cope with it by getting a new woman up to his bed and trying to get over it. But yeah, just interesting to see Al actually vulnerable for once, because he's usually the most steadfast guy in this entire town. And I guess the other storyline, which wasn't big this episode but definitely started something, was that guy getting sworn in as sheriff. I do not know how this guy is going to have any power in this town. He's definitely nowhere near the power level of Sai or Al, and if he tries to overstep his mark, I don't think it will take much for either of them to get him eliminated from life. So he better watch himself, play his position. He might enjoy his new title, maybe get himself a shiny badge, but his power doesn't really reach anywhere above that. So if I was him, I would keep my fucking mouth shut, get that guy's building non-written off for fire danger, and leave it at that, and be happy with my new position. And speaking of Sai, we got an insight into the scheming and master planning he has, in which he's now trying to get people to turn against Al for siding with Mr. Wu, and also I think his long-term plan is to get the Chinese people to actually vacate their premises in that side of town so that his main chick can get her brothel there. Really snaky shit, and the fact he sided with that dealer, the heroin addict, and just all it took for him to get back in good favour was to spread the bad word about Al to the patrons of the place, just shows what a piece of shit Sai actually is. It's ridiculous. Okay, so I do like Al slightly more now after this episode, and I like Sai even less. So if we've got a scale of who I like least to most just now, the bottom three are still Al, Sai and E.B. Farnham. Don't get me wrong, E.B. Farnham is still dead last, the bottom tier, the most dislikable piece of shit known to mankind, but Sai is just above him now, and if he keeps working at it, he might get the very bottom spot. Not one that many people would try and clamber for, but always trying his best, the piece of shit. And I don't even need to say it, you guys can tell how invested I am in this show. It is so good. I can't believe we've only got one episode left of season 1 and I have to wait an entire week to see it. I don't know if this show rolls like a typical show, but usually some shit goes down in the season finale. Maybe that guy Al struck that deal with, who's gonna go back up and kill the guy who was trying to bribe Al, will happen, and he'll be the new person in that position. A million things could happen, I guess, but I'll just have to wait and see, but I am looking forward to that shit. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.